Multiplayer gaming has advanced by leaps and bounds over the past several years, whether it's cross-platform support or more extensive content drops and updates. While some things never change, especially when it comes to certain habits, new trends have formed which are also similarly common among players. Let's take a look at things gamers still can't resist doing in multiplayer games. Ignoring the objective. Oftentimes when playing an objective-based game mode, you'll find some players, perhaps even yourself, ignoring the objective in question. Pushing the payload in Overwatch, capturing zones in Destiny 2, collecting tags in Search and Destroy, actually capturing the flag. No, you are a natural-born killer, and it's all about those kills, isn't it? Granted, some games force this with challenges and whatnot, but sometimes the desire to just fight and hope that someone else deals with the objectives is always there.
30 seconds remaining.
Splitting off from the team. At least the objective in Battle Royale games is to obtain kills, so surely that'd be fine, right? The issue arises when playing in squads and just going solo, completely abandoning your team and refusing to coordinate. This applies to just about any multiplayer game that requires some modicum of teamwork, so almost all modern titles. It's super frustrating for everyone else, but hard to resist, even if it's completely unintentional. Assassinations and executions. It may not always be practical, but sneaking up behind an opponent to execute them in a flashy way, like in the older Halo titles, is always fun. Heck, executing a downed opponent is hard to resist as well. Are there any tactical benefits that simple shooting wouldn't confer? Well, no, but they do look awesome. Constantly reloading. Ammo is a precious resource in some games, like the Metro series, depending on the difficulty. Most multiplayer titles don't quite have those restrictions, but even if they do, the urge to reload is ever present. You've only fired 1 or 2 bullets, but surely you need to reload, right? What if the enemy rushes you and those 1 or 2 bullets make all the difference? It can oftentimes be counterproductive, especially where killing an enemy and then reloading results in being caught by another, that too when there's still plenty of ammo to deal. Nevertheless, fighting the urge can be near impossible for some people. Blaming your team. Just like how a close victory can provide the highest of highs, a narrow defeat can result in the lowest of lows. You do everything right but still lose. It's not the best feeling by a long shot. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to blame others, whether they carted in Monster Hunter, wiped in a Destiny 2 raid, or didn't heal enough in Overwatch. As tempting as it can be though, there's no substitute for trying again and actually succeeding. Toxicity. To that end, trying not to be toxic at all can be a real task. Raging at an AI enemy, flaming the enemy team, flaming your own team, even if you're winning, or just flaming in general are just some examples. But toxicity can manifest in many different ways, from insulting someone's abilities in a less than friendly manner to outright dictating how people should be playing. Sometimes you devolve into straight-up anger at everyone, and no one in particular, which is never okay. Unless it's a Fatalis in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, of course. Sliding. Bunny hopping is a result of skillfully abusing the jump button. Strafing is just common sense, mixed with the need to survive against overwhelming odds. Sprinting provided increased movement speed. Sliding sort of combines all of these tenets into a fun movement skill that's just satisfying to land, whether it's called for or not. Some games like Destiny 2 still encourage sliding when shotgunning, plus it's just fun. How can anyone resist? Blindly tossing grenades. An enemy's around the corner and you have grenades. You get no points for holding them, so naturally you start throwing them. Was there actually an enemy around the corner? Did you get hit from 100 feet away and just assume that the entire enemy team is on you? Are you more than happy to spam grenades just because? Regardless of the results, it's too tempting to pass up. Plus, explosions, which outweighs all other priorities. Cosmetic discrimination. Strange as it may sound, being discriminated against based on whether you have the latest battle pass in Fortnite is a thing. Do you have cosmetics from the game's early seasons? If not, then you're probably a noob or casual or whatever other lingo is in fashion. Not that this kind of elitism is a new phenomenon. Heck, it's one of the reasons why there are epic and legendary skins in some titles, even if it doesn't affect their drop rates. Complaining about free content. It's one thing to provide valid criticism, and no, death threats don't count for free updates and content, especially if unwarranted nerfs or problems persist. Heck, it's fine to be critical of content plans, like when Overwatch went several years without new content because of Overwatch 2. But complaining about free content in general because it isn't enough, or it's not what you wanted, or complaining for the sake of complaining just isn't cool. It's something we're all guilty of for sure, especially in this age of live service games. Trying to land 6 snipes. It may be while securing the sniper rifle in Halo or picking Widowmaker in Overwatch. For some reason though, impossible though it may be, we just can't avoid trying to hit those 6 snipes. From the days of the 360 no-scope to a grapple into a scoped headshot kill before hitting the ground, the need for stylish execution remains strong. Even if you whiff all your shots and potentially throw away your team's chances of winning, you have to at least try. Using OP things. You've probably heard this several times when playing Destiny's Crucible, or even while the Overwatch 2 closed beta is going on. X is overpowered and must be used, whether it's a weapon, kit, or a character. You're not particularly good with Soldier 76, but you were told he's great, so why not? Thorn in Year 1 of Destiny may have been lame with its damage over time poison, but you had to use it to stay competitive, or simply deal with others using the same. It's a trait of human nature that just can't be avoided, and bleeds further into relying on meta builds in action RPGs at the cost of trying something new. Balance complaints. Some weapons, heroes, skills, classes and so on and so forth tend to be stronger than others, regardless of which game you're playing. Perfect balance doesn't exist, and while tweaks are always necessary, it's hard to not throw your suggestions in, regardless of who cared or asked. The Hunter's Shatter Dive is overpowered in Destiny 2, dumpster the whole class. Overwatch's Doomfist is still slightly annoying, even after multiple nerfs and a role change. Nerf and then delete him from the game. Actual balancing is a more long-term endeavour, sadly, which means that there will always be some reason to complain about some OP thing. Running over teammates. Whether it's a tank, running over your teammates with a vehicle is a hallowed tradition. You don't mean to, but you don't really feel bad when it happens either. Additionally, whether spawning with jets, it seems only right to pilot one, even if you have no idea how. Leave it for actual skilled pilots or potentially crash on takeoff. The right choice is always the most obvious. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on GamingBolt, so please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.